Our first guest on the show today is a candidate for the office of mayor of the city of Jackson, Laura Schlecte. Hi, Laura. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yes, we were chuckling before. I offered you root beer, and you didn't want any.
I know, I said I don't drink it. It's too strong.
Too strong, root beer?
I don't drink coffee either.
No?
I suspect that coffee sells in the summer because people are kind of addicted to either you're a coffee drinker and you drink it or you're
Right.
not, right? Don't they make iced coffee?
Mm-hmm. You can get iced coffee there, too.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Thanks,
I love
Abigail.
the voice from the
Yeah, Abigail
background.
drinks a lot of the iced coffee.
All right.
So we've got a campaign here that's winding down because on Tuesday, the primary, this is the only ballot issue on any ballot anywhere in the county, as far as I know. And it has 5 names.
So just our citizens of the city.
Just the citizens of Jackson, yeah. So you're a sitting city council person.
I am.
Why did you decide that you wanted to
Go up one?
Yeah.
Well, when I ran for council, I ran because as a realtor, I was getting frustrated that a lot of the doctors that were coming into Allegiance didn't want to live in our community. And it wasn't by any lack of Allegiance wanting them to live here, because they've been at the forefront of encouraging people to live in our community. So I thought, well, what can I do to make a difference? And I ran for office, and I feel like I've made a huge difference in our community, and I thought I'd just go to the next level and continue making more of a difference. I'm really good at bringing people to the table that might not otherwise be at the table. I know a lot of people, not only in the area, but in the state and nationally, because I'm a national trainer for the National Association of Realtors, so I've done a lot across the United States. So, and I don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call people and kind of push things forward. I'm not very good at taking the word no. That's my husband. I like to make things happen. I push my sleeves up, and if somebody else can't do it and I can do it, I will absolutely try to get that done, to get that accomplished, to get anything accomplished.
And on that particular issue that you first ran, the getting people like the Allegiance doctors to live here, did you find that you've made some inroads there?
I think overall, as a community, we're doing much better. I mean, there's a lot more going on today than there were 3.5 years ago. I mean, we have the Anchor Initiative, we're doing construction, we're investing in our own infrastructure as a municipality. We've seen some really tough times. The economy really tanked, and the city and the county all got hit pretty hard. Just ask Mike Overton, your next speaker. But so we have to be fiscally responsible. We have to show good governance going forward, and we're going to have to generate income to provide back our services. And the way to do that is to improve our community so that people will want to live here. And when we sell a house in the community, that's when our taxable values can go back up to where they should be, because we've lost, in fact, I brought some numbers. We've lost taxable value over the last 7 years. Our taxable value of our real estate has gone down. 7 years of decreasing revenue is hard for a community.
And that's just not here, it's happened everywhere.
It's happened everywhere, but I'm concerned about how it's affecting Jackson. Our assessed value went up this year for the first time in 8 years, which shows that we are improving. But we've lost some of our tax base because of the demolition of properties, and those have been removed from the tax roll. So until we start selling the properties at fair market value, then our taxable value will start increasing.
So as you look at the office of mayor, what do you see as the priorities that you would have in that office, but also the priorities of our community?
Well, there's a couple of different types of priorities. Long-term priority would be fiscal health, our legacy costs. Cutting our legacy costs back is imperative. I mean, we have to look at how are we handling our pensions and health care for our retirees. The ones in the past, there's not much we can do to change those, and nor would I want to, because it's hard for anybody who's retired to change their income level stream. But we have to look at maybe a step plan based on the number of years that somebody's currently working and how many years they have left to work within the facility, within the city structure, and looking at evaluating our expenses rigorously, really analyzing them. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that we have to look at financially, but the biggest one is our legacy. But that's a long term, that is not going to happen overnight. And then the short term priority is, there's 5 things. Roads, but you can't do your roads until you look at your water and sewer infrastructure. And our water and sewer infrastructure is 100 years old. And we have to look at our fire and police staffing. We're losing firemen in September, and we need more police, and we have to figure out how we're going to pay for all of that stuff. So my goal is to have workshops, find out the facts, what roads, how many, we have, I think, about 156 miles of road, and you've got that much infrastructure underneath there at least, and what's it going to take financially to replace it, which ones are worse, what stage are we going to make those changes, and how long is it going to take, what's it going to cost, what's the involvement on the community's part. We got to get partners to the table. I don't think we can solve our problems without getting partnerships in place, whether it's federal, state, private, non-profits. We've got to get everybody to the table, our citizens.
And you mentioned Mike Overton's coming up as our next guest. What about that relationship, the relationship between the city and the county? Are you happy with how it is? And are there things as mayor that you would like to see?
I think the county, would be great to collaborate with the county. The city has water and sewer capacity to service the entire county. That would give some great economic development opportunities to Summit Township and Blackman Township, and maybe it would solve the problems that are out in Leone. I haven't delved into their problems, but I do know we have the capacity to service the entire county with water and sewer. Mike Overton, I love Mike Overton. He's great to work with. He's very creative, and you put his brain with Pat Birch's, and you've got a really dynamic duo that could accomplish a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think we should be looking at collaborating with the county.
The campaign is on the street. A lot of the candidates are knocking on doors.
Mm-hmm.
What are the residents, what are you hearing as you visit?
Well, it depends on where you are. So if you're in the 6th Ward and you're up in Essex Heights, the number one concern is leaf pickup. And leaf pickup is back. It's not back in the same form that it once was. The stormwater fee was a complete debacle, but one thing did come out of that. One good thing did come out of it, and that was it was illegal to purposely put things in the street in the way of the flow of the stormwater. So people shouldn't be doing that. I'm sure people still do it that maybe don't know any better, but this year the leaves will give you as many bags as you need, and we'll pick them up. Now, is that convenient? For those in Essex Heights, and I talked to one lady, I think she said she has 18 oak trees. It might not be realistic for that, but it's the best we can do right now. So until we start generating more revenue by our property taxes or our income tax, we can only work with the money that we have. Mm-hmm. You don't want your municipality spending more than they have. Right. And that's another good reason to improve our infrastructure, because nobody wants to move into a community whose water lines freeze in bitter cold weather or whose basements flood with sewage. I just had that happen at one of my properties. Rooney's was out replacing sewer lines just on, what day is this? Monday.
Tom Rooney, great guy.
Yeah. And, that just doesn't make our community that desirable, and our roads So that if we could get all that straightened out or figured out and have a plan in place, we can use that as a development tool to drive economic development into the community, which will create jobs.
In the minute that we have left, anything that we didn't hit on that you wanted to tell the voters?
Well, communication to me is key. We, just like the roads and the safety issue, the staffing issue, we can't solve that without communicating to our citizens what our plans are. And I don't think we should ever make a decision that we decide today and 30 days from now it's implemented. If it's a major change, or if we're asking the citizens to participate, whether it's on a volunteer level or financially, we ought to have enough time to have that conversation with them, explain to them why we're doing what we're doing, how we came up with our method, and does it work for them? Because what might work for the 6th ward might not work for the 1st ward. And what we do has to work. We have to have a consensus. We'll never make everybody happy, but we have to at least have that open communication and people start trusting that we're making decisions in the best interest of the community.
Very good. Good luck.
Thanks.
Tuesday, Election Day for residents in the city of Jackson. Make sure you vote. The top 2 vote getters advance to the November general election. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
City Councilwoman and candidate for Mayor, Laura Schlecte. As we've mentioned, County Administrator Mike Overton joins us, and he's got his sleeves rolled up because it's so hot in here.
Oh.
But actually, can you feel the heat? Or the air conditioning? It's kicked back on, hasn't it? I think they fixed it. That coil is in.
Oh, is that what that little air
It's not little,
fan?
it's huge.
No, but that little fan you had was
Yes,
your
we had
air.
a little fan.
I was so nervous about talking to you that I wasn't even worried about the heat in here.
Didn't even feel it, did you? No. We did just fine. You know what we're going to have to do when the other candidates are on? We're going to have to turn the heat on. So Mike will be here after this.